And then it will be the first quarter-final tonight from 7 o'clock. Another bogey number for Joycey. Somebody's broken his calculator.
98.
Yeah, Petrescu knows that he's in a good position now, but that's a good recovery by Ryan Joyce. That's an excellent recovery, in fact. Almost puts the pressure on here. Treble 18. Finds it. Bullseye. Brilliant from Petrescu. Exactly what he needed, because Joyce had made his move to leave 32, but that is a really mature and a really measured response by Ricardo Petrescu, which is, again, up on what he's been doing in the main on the Pro Tour this year. I mentioned the point yesterday that I don't think an 87 average is going to cut it too long on a European Tour stage over the course of a weekend. And he certainly dragged his average up yesterday, and he may well drag it up a bit more. He's up at about 93.7, so a little bit round about where he was yesterday.
100. Ricardo, you require 94.
That's his 200th off what he was yesterday, 93.75 against Luke Woodhouse. He's there again.
Bullseye. Oh, another one! He's seeing the bullseye like it's the size of the sun. Because of Ricardo's 251 position, he obviously thought, well, I'll probably get 9 from here. However, 15s, 25 or 18s, if you get the single or indeed the 25, you've still got a chance of leaving the finish with the last 2 darts.
Yeah, and he's backed it up with a mere 58 as well. And if Ryan Joyce doesn't watch his stepper, well, we've seen Petrescu's finishing of late. Anything manageable, anything within range, he could well take it out. Let's see what he can trim off here, though, first and foremost.
100.
Yeah, that'll do. 92, well within his radar. Took out 94, took out 122. This has to go, Ryan.
Yeah, you might want to hit this, because Petrescu might have another bull finish in his sights. That's brilliant. From one of the best doublers in the world.
For a place in the quarterfinals. He's making it so hard for himself, though. Although you wouldn't expect anything less, really.
I like his reactions. It's almost like he snap-hooked that dart into the 5, but the recovery is fantastic. And with a number like 48, to win a match in the last 16 for the 3rd time in your career, you can pretty much choose whatever double you want.
Ricardo, you require 48.
Yeah, there are 1 or 2 things that need ironing out if he does wrap up this match and does advance to a quarter-final against Peter Wright or Johnny Clayton. But for the time being, Ricardo Petrescu is looking at double 16 for a 6-4 win, and that secures a 3rd European Tour quarter-final for the number 16 seed.
That is amazing. I know he's, for the most part, just played from Saturdays, but still you've got to win all those games, and he has.
Yeah, well, ridiculously, Peter Wright,
59.
His game on the Friday was the first time he played in the last 48 of a Euros. The first time. And Joe Cullen hadn't done it for 8 years, because he's always been a seed. Peter Wright had
71.
never done it.
Johnny, you require
Even the early days when we had 2 boards. Double 11. Johnny Clayton is doing very good things on the outer ring and approaching it.
But he isn't here. He will not defend the title. There will be a new winner of the Belgian Darts Open. And Johnny Clayton could be that man, because this is really encouraging stuff. Encouraging for the pair of them, to be fair.
I think both players are definitely on the up form-wise.
57.
In the same sort of way, arguably, as
96.
Luke Humphries. It just so happens that Humphries is slightly more steep in his upward curve. But this really is encouraging for the number 9 seed.
Congratulations to the whole Wright clan. And there might be more congratulations coming his way in a moment. Oh, 5 perfect darts. We keep being teased with the prospect of a 9-darter. Something we have seen in this tournament, of course. 2 years ago in the semi-finals, very first leg of it, Dave Chisnell.
140.
You're always going to take 5 treble 20s out of 6 darts at the start of a leg, no matter what game you're in. However, he might be on a 10. Oh, this is wonderful.
45.
Clayton's played brilliantly in this game, and Peter Wright has deflected it.
Not enough to leave a finish, but 10 darter potentially incoming anyway. You can use that. Just like that, everything is looking so much more assured from Peter Wright.
I think sometimes as well, when you come to events like this or elsewhere, you can get bogged down by who you're playing, because there might be some sort of relationship issue with that player, or the fact that you might want to beat them a bit too much. There's a bit of history. With these two, not bothered. Let's just go and play. And that helps the game.
Oh, here we go. Bullseye for the Ferret. Oh, he can't miss. He cannot miss at the end of legs. Johnny Clayton. Every single opportunity is disappearing in the blink of an eye. Which he has. One dart, double four.
53. Peter, you've acquired 56.
You just don't expect him to miss. And it just goes to show the gamble that is associated with that bullseye and the 25 shot. Double top for 5-4. Biggest start of the match.
36.
It isn't close, and Clayton has a break chance.
Take the lead in this game for the first time. He's not been missing. And now he's missed 4 darts in a row.
Peter, you've acquired 20.
Peter Wright has been great, but he's also had to be a little fortunate.
Reminiscent of his first World Championship. Not anymore.
15.
They're both missing, adding to the drama in the room.
Johnny, you've acquired 8.
And the biggest letter on the lips of the fans is all. Now he's got it done.
Johnny Clayton.
Both players will go into the next leg thinking,
Oh, Ferret. Needed another for a match start at double 8, but he leaves himself on
Peter,
top.
you acquire 161.
161 for Peter Wright. Oh, that is magnificent, but he can't stay there. He has to go to the 17s.
Johnny wants to be the party pooper now to eliminate Peter on his birthday.
Johnny, you've acquired
Tops
40.
for the win.
What a display from Johnny Clayton. What a performance from Peter Wright. They've both averaged more than a ton. Well, he's already dodged bullets this weekend, Luke Littler. Jose de Sousa had match darts against him, 2 of them, missed them both. His first darts, he missed a double in the whole game. Ratajski was level at 3-all with him yesterday, while nicking his drinking water as well.
140.
And ultimately, Littler rattled off 3 brilliant legs, 14 darter, 11 darter, 14 darter. Smashed his way through the finishing tape. But here comes Damon Heta, looking to hit back with a 4-visit leg.
$84. Damon, you require 81.
Yeah, so an opportunity, well, a very good opportunity to hit back straight away. 62 remaining here for Heta. Gets the treble 12 to leave double 13. And that is an instant riposte for the Australian number 1, the number 4 seed here this weekend. Especially given what we saw last week. It was 10-8 in Minehead.
99.
They could so easily have eked out a 19th leg in that one as well.
Playing with some nice pace, Heta. From the word go, something he has been trying to work on. He does feel he plays better when he plays quicker. Oh, interesting. That leaves double 5. And he takes it out. Nicely done by Littler. It's a bit feast or famine from Luke Littler, isn't it? He's throwing in some good stuff, but then he's having these little dull spells. He's not able... Yeah, and this is why he's getting annoyed.
78.
Like the way he does that, though, just has that little glance away to somewhere into the ether, into space, just to recompose himself. He employs that a lot as Heta finds double 16 for a 3-2 lead. That's a 15 darter to go with the 12 darter and the 16 darter that he's had already.
When you might have been thinking, this is the day I get my first big title. He's got to win major titles, and he's amazing.
92.
You thought that might have been the day, and you've played incredibly, and you've still lost. You're in your first Euro tour ever, the greatest tour in professional sport, and Van Gerwen's gone out, the other previous winner's gone out. A lot of people think Littler is the man to beat here. And this is the sort of stuff that makes them think that.
I've got to say, I don't really understand why people are aghast when Littler does get annoyed. It shows that he's got high standards of himself, even though he's only just burst onto the scene and, you know, has done what he's done. It shows he cares as well. I mean, that's the thing with me. I really don't understand the fuss.
I'm surprised he doesn't get annoyed more. He's just such a cool customer. And that is a brilliant 11 dart leg. And just like he did against Ratajski, is he making a move?
Well, I wouldn't rule out further opportunities to see them play each other on the Euro Tour this season, certainly, Dan. And I'm sure their paths will cross on the Pro Tour plenty of times over the course of this year, as Littler takes another humongous stride towards the quarterfinals. Heta's on a bogey number here, powerless from 162.
64.
Leaves himself a two-darter, albeit a slightly awkward one, but Littler could wrap it up here. Two tops. There's one. There's the other. A special finish from a special player to win another brilliant contest with the Aussie.
And you're right, he was knocking on the door last year as well. That semi-final at the World Match Play, a semi-final at the World Grand Prix as well. Just really encouraging signs from Joe Cullen's point of view. 120 plays 210 in this third leg.
He also made a very good point publicly, Joe, that maybe he's been flogged a bit too much, but we do have high standards for him. That's a very high standard of finish from Jermaine Watamina to give himself a 2-1 lead. Get some rhythm and just try and make something happen, and try and scrape your way through this game somehow, and then reset for tonight.
Yeah.
Just got to win different ways. You're not going to go through a tournament very often averaging 104 the whole way. You are going to have a dip at some point. It's just how you manage it.
I'm still staggered at Watamina's Euro Tour record. The fact that he hasn't been, prior to this weekend, involved in the final day since 2019. Double five, on we go. That is 7 successive holes of throw. And you look at his Pro Tour stuff of late as well. He's only made 1 quarter-final to prevent Watamina from having further opportunities. The finishing has been a concern. That's a concern for Cullen.
Good visit. He needs more mistakes from Jermaine. And he's got them as well. He's leading a charmed life on his own throw. I've lost count of how many darts at double Jermaine has had and missed at breaks.
Yeah, well, that was, again, maybe just a slip-up. And the 10s, yeah, what was that, says Joe Cullen. Not quite sure what happened with the first attempt, or the single 20 as well. Well, he could do with a slip-up here from Watamina as well. Watamina down to a finish first on the throw, but Cullen can apply some real pressure here. And I might make Cullen favourite for this leg now.
438.
However, 150 for the match is missed. Cullen now needs to find a clean, crisp 72 to get the first of 2 breaks that he needs.
Double 16.
40.
Yeah, well, that's been his downfall today. 3 from 11. And Jermaine Watamina looking at tops. And Jermaine Watamina, well, he's not had a great deal of experience on the final day of the European Tour of late. It's been a long, long time.
Said, you cannot have them in, Sonny Jim. So he confiscated it. But maybe times are different. Sorry?
Like you're at school.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Paul, you always had a slightly more fractious relationship with officials than, say, somebody like Ryan Searle, I would imagine.
I was just trying to push the boundaries, but I don't see a problem with it. You see boxers and MMA fighters walking around with their headphones on, NFL players going into the the tunnels and things like that. If it's part of their process, just let them do it.
Well, Ryan Searle has had a couple of darts fall out the board, and yet he takes the opening leg in 15 darts.
Ryan Searle. Second leg,
I think Ryan is trying to figure out. He's lost to Wesley Plazier in Jena at this stage, and he's won the rest. That's ridiculous.
180.
Well, it's a phenomenal record, obviously. 2 years ago, he was a 4-time winner on the Euro Tour. Only picked up 1 title last year, but made 5 more finals. Oh, another in there. I'm surprised he didn't follow it, to be honest, because it looked perfect. You could see from the reaction that he fancied it.
Speaking of fancy finishing from Ryan Searle. Heavy stuff.
And I can't understand why that one. The other ones seem to be hitting other darts, and that takes some of the power out. That one was very odd.
Oh,
yeah, it's got to be a point issue, hasn't it? Has to be. I don't know if it's the same dart. You think it might well be.
I think it might have to be. That one went in first dart,
95.
and it looked really stable. Maybe there is a drawback to using 34-gram darts. These ones just don't want to be hit by their brothers and sisters. There's another one.
This is ridiculous. And he's... Look, this is one of the reasons why it's always good to have another set of darts.
Somebody get Peter Wright up there and tell him what's going on. Double 16. Merciless from Humphreys. Now within 2. Back in 2010, I played GNR Tut in Gibraltar in a Players' Championship, first of the year. He landed double 10 to win the match, but it fell on the floor when he was shaking my hand. I won that leg.
Yeah, you send him back to throw it in again, Paul.
He eventually beat me anyway, so it didn't make any difference. But this game is not over yet. If it's a hot 4-leg spell, Humphreys can still get out of jail here to stop this from being only the 3rd time he loses in a last 16 match in a European Tour event.
45.
The doubles have been an issue. But he gets that one done. It's another brilliant leg. Luke Humphreys got 15 darter and 2 12 darters. He's averaging over 100 again on the Euro Tour. Johnny Clayton has been out of form. Luke Littler and Jermaine Wattimena never won Euro Tour titles before. Wattimena's never been in a semi. This is Luke Littler's first one. Pikachu has won one, but it was the most recent one, and that's his only title.
It's a bit like opening up a book on a Saturday night. You think, I'm going to read this for a couple of hours. You know it's going to be good, but you just got no idea how good it could be and how unpredictable. This is for the win, and it's tops his favourite double, and it's all he requires. He becomes the 3rd player to eliminate Humphreys at this stage over the course of 20 matches in his career, and in doing so he improves his record in the last 16.
26.
What a horrible visit.
81.
Well, Noppert with a bit more room for manoeuvre than he might have imagined here. He too has gone a little bit loose.
41. Robbie require 135.
Filthy darts on the pair of them those last 2 visits, but Noppert at least leaves himself on tops. That's an open bullseye. If Rob Cross can find treble 20 though. It is wide open. Straight down the line and in the ball for a 135 start.
Rob Cross.
Once again, the darts are going astray.
125.
But he's tied up once again. He's being forced into tidying up quite a lot already. This is a concern for Danny Noppert. Down to a finish though of 79.
140.
Cross on 70
Danny
now.
requires 79.
There'll be 2 singles and a double top. It's going to be that. He's having a move. Dart does stick up a lot. And
39.
that is the issue.
Robbie
Absolutely
requires 70.
clattered into it. Had to bulldoze his way through almost with that one, and yeah, I mean, he made the move, he went over, did the right thing, but Rob Cross once again with an opportunity to extend his advantage. Double 8 once again.
On the third leg.
And that is a double break of throw for Rob Cross already. And Danny Noppert needs to pull his socks up here, otherwise he could be swiftly on his way home. Break here, leaves him 4-2 down. 2 breaks to 1 in Cross's favour, it would be.
100. Danny require 127.
But this is an opportunity. Treble 19.
55. Robbie require 110.
1 treble required, which he has. Single 18 for double 16 for 5-1. To go within a leg of the quarterfinals. Takes it out. Satisfaction. Another 15 darter, a third for Rob Cross in this game.
Well, here we go then. First opportunity for Cross to seal the deal with 167. It's going to have to wait though, and it will be Cross returning shortly because
91.
Noppert is still adrift on 224. Double 8 has been kind for Rob Cross so far. He has taken it out already. He's won 2 key legs on double 8 already in this match as he opened up that chasm at the start of the proceedings. But it is back upstairs for a first match start for Rob Cross, the number 7 seed.
36. Danny require
And that dart rejected from the board from Danny Noppert makes this so much harder than it would have been. 1-2-4. Well, the shot is still on if he was on 1-2-4. As it is 1-4-4, the chance evaporated after the very first dart, and Rob Cross comes back with more match darts to see off Danny Noppert.
To secure his place in the Euro Tour quarterfinals once again, Rob Cross is back in business on the European Tour. A very different encounter to the one he had last night.
Gary's won through 9 of them. Their win percentage of getting through this stage of the tournament is identical at 64%. That makes this game just a little bit tighter yet again.
108.
Well, it's another 180 for Gerwyn Price. He has registered 3 of the 4 that we've seen in this match so far.
Don't be fooled by 180s, by the way. Looked like they got 8 on Friday, and he only just beat Jose de Sousa.
17, just about. Tops.
Yeah, from the third leg, Gerwyn Price. 4 leg is Gary throw first. Game on.
This is very, very good. I wonder how many wins he's going to need to get a statue in Risa. And there's plenty of space for one.
It's already in the furnace.
140.
Semi-finalist in Hungary towards the end of last year as well. Did have a couple of premature exits, German Darts Grand Prix and the European Darts Grand Prix.
430, sir.
Beautiful approach play once again. A little bit to think about here for Anderson with this 102. Tops he wants.
62. Only require
just overshoots it, and Price goes for that. Gets the same type of shot. But the 10s come up trumps. 4-1 to Price. Anderson needs breaks, and he needs them soon. Don't turn around, Gary. That first start from Price is a belter.
434.
And you notice how he didn't gamble on staying with the 60 and that marker there. He did the pro thing, went for the 18s, and guaranteed the finish.
97. 128.
128 is something that Gary has taken in this tournament, and he did it via the 18s and double 10.
88. Gary require 124.
Has Gary Anderson got another trick up his sleeve? He may well have another trick up his sleeve. He needs the bullseye, and he gets the bullseye. Gary Anderson continues to produce these moments of magic as he has done so often this year. Further ring the alarm bells.
That looks good. So does that.
33.
That's a guaranteed shot. Oh, that's a very nice igloo you've done, young man. Well done. But there's no hiding place for Price. He needs to find the 132.
132.
Well, it's nicely poised, isn't it? My goodness me. Oh. Some say it's better than the big fish.
Well, the ice was almost right.
Gary require 40.
4-4. Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone?
Gary Anderson.
Oh, yeah.
164 for Anderson. What can he do here? Well, he can't find the 164. So Gerwyn Price may well get a match start. Needs one treble. Definitely needs a treble now. Can't find the treble 19 that would have left stops.
Yeah, just couldn't get that bypass start past the flight. Huge moment. Double 8. 2 4s.
6.
Those 2 misses could signal the end. And this checkout got him his first major against Anderson in the slam.
Tops for Price.
Go shot.
Price takes it. An absolute epic on the European Tour.
And he's got these processes that he's using to try and give himself the best chance of playing his best darts. And the proof is in the pudding. The last 2 major titles have been won by Dimitri Van den Bergh and Stephen Bunting. Now, whether these psychologists have anything to do with it, they believe they do. And if it's a placebo effect, it's doing something.
It isn't. It's as simple as that. I know other players that have seen them, they've all had success. Double 6. And it's another 81 checkered for Bunting.
The leg is Mike throw first. Game on.
I mean, you already know, Dan, that's my favourite Euro Tour of all time because it was just unbelievable.
140.
Yeah, I think back to Gavlas in Prague. Didn't win it, of course, but he had a run to the final day, and the reactions from Gavlas and the fans were utterly bonkers. It just sticks. We know these games matter. This matters to the players, and it really comes out in these circumstances. And at the minute, Mike de Decker, you can see the frustration because he isn't playing brilliantly. He's upped it a little bit in the last leg or 2, but Stephen Bunting is just doing what he's been doing for a long while, playing really, really good darts, and he's left that 81 that he took out so expertly to win the game yesterday against Josh Rock.
Got one earlier on double 6. Doesn't need double 6 this time, but there's a difference. And this is one of the reasons why I love this crowd, this venue, and of his own age, throwing them backwards. This is forwards to move forwards in the game.
74.
He can afford to miss those ones. It's a good leg from Mike de Decker. It's bought him some time. And look, I know you were one, and there are various pros who will argue, don't show your emotions, don't show you're frustrated, because it gives a little boost to your opponent. Mike de Decker does not subscribe to that, or if he does, he pays no attention to it.
Let's see how he feels about this. Could split this. Double 4. Not happy, but he will come back. And the thought behind that is, if I'm going to miss, I'd rather come back for 4s than 5s, and I like that a lot.
At least he can really attack it. He knows he can really attack the first 2, all 3 darts at double if he needs.
Well, you don't want to Ryan Searle here, do you? That's why he went for 12s. Good thinking.
Mikey require 8.
Surely from that. Surely from that.
Potter's walk there. Thought it was in, but that flight's in the way.
Yeah, it's not as inviting as I thought.
High, low, in.
That is a wonder dart.
However, in this leg, he is first to the finish. The pressure on this 130 depends on this visit from Stephen, who's starting to take those extra seconds.
Look at that, gives himself time, composes himself, and hits back with a max of his own. Grudging applause from the Belgian fans.
Zero panic from Bunting. Second dart's got to be pinpoint. Bullseye. Right on line. Just didn't dip enough.
Stephen, you require 39.
Predominantly, he does leave 32 from this position. And it is for 5-3. Merciless from Bunting. 3 chances to get through to the quarterfinals.
Even if he is really good in every visit, Stephen Bunting has the quality to take this game away from him. And he's in again for a 4th maximum.
Now we've got the sample size of almost 3 matches for Bunting. His range overall this weekend is about as tight as 2 coats of paint. His top level, 99.9. His bottom level, 97.8. Here, he's gone up a notch, just a shade over 101. This is consistency
96.
at its
I
best.
can require 87.
Both on 80-odd checkouts after 3 visits. Hideki gets one at double 5. And he cannot take it. He has missed the dart for a 12-darter in this leg. He missed the dart for a 12-darter in the last leg. It could be so different, but he needed to take at least one of those chances, you feel. Because Bunting could wrap it up right now. Double 14. And the bullet breaks another Belgian heart here in Visa. He took out the Belgian #1 Dimitri in the opening day. He has now taken out the last Belgian standing in Mike De Decker.